are the impacts of climate change on heat waves and people. Hello, friends. Jim here. Study says since 1979, climate change has made heat waves last longer, spike hotter, and cause more harm to more people. Climate change is making giant heat waves move slower across the globe. That's due to the slowing of the jet stream, the decrease in the temperature gradient, and hence pressure gradients. Because they're moving slower, they're also much hotter. So people are baking for longer periods with higher temperatures over larger areas. So since 1979, global heat waves are moving 20% more slowly. So more people stay hot longer. And they are happening 67% more often. Temperature found the highest temperature in the heat waves are warmer than 40 years ago, and the area under a heat dome is larger. Studies have shown heat waves are worsening before, but this one is more comprehensive, concentrates heavily on not just temperature and area, but the duration, as well as how it travels across continents, said the study co-author and climate study scientist Wei Zong of Utah State University, Gabriel Lau of Princeton University. From 1979 to 1983, global heat waves would last 8 days on average. But by 2016 to 2020, that was up to 12 days. Eurasia was especially hit harder with longer lasting heat waves. Well, it's a huge landmass. Heat waves slowed down most in Africa. That is interesting. While North America and Australia saw the biggest increases in overall magnitude, which measures temperature and area according to the study. This paper sends a clear warning that climate change makes heat waves yet more dangerous in more ways than one. As said Michael Werner of Lawrence Berkeley National Lab Climate. Not involved. Just like in an oven, the longer the heat lasts, the more something cooks. In this case, it's people. And remember, with the wet bulb temperature being around, 31 C or so, a lot more people are going to be suffering a lot more from hyperthermia, especially the elderly who have more difficult time thermoregulating. So this will increase mortalities, or at least increase the frequency of heat strokes. Those heat waves are traveling slower, and so slower, so that basically means that there's a heat wave sitting there, and those heat waves can stay longer in the region. So they conducted computer simulations showing this change was due to heat trapping emissions that come from burning of coal, oil, and natural gas. What? No aerosol? The study found climate change's fingerprint by simulating a world without greenhouse gas emissions and concluding it could not produce the worsening heat waves observed in the last 45 years. In other words, without the accumulation of greenhouse gases due to burning all the fossil fuels, this wouldn't be happening. So it definitely is a result of burning fossil fuels. The study also looks at the changes in weather patterns that propagate heat waves. Atmospheric waves that move weather systems along, such as the jet stream, are weakening, so they are not moving heat waves along as quickly, west to east in most but not all continents. Basically they're able to show not just the heat waves, but the changing weather patterns, the changing global movements, how they're all slowing down, which makes the heat waves linger. So lasting longer, hotter temperatures because of the trapping the emissions, and covering a bigger area. So this shows how heat waves evolve in 3 dimensions and move regionally across continents rather than looking at temperatures at individual locations. And Jennifer Francis, who is with the Woodwell Climate Research Center, said that one of the most direct consequences of global warming is increasing heat waves, and these results put a large exclamation point on that fact. She was not involved in the study. So, it's getting hotter, folks. And, we see here these people, right? They're experiencing some of the heat wave. You got a person there with a fan there. I would expect you start seeing a lot more what's called neck gaiters. Neck gaiters is something you see people in the American Southwest wear. It's basically an object that has these pellets inside of it. You soak it in water, like say you're going to go out hiking in the desert the next day. You soak it in water overnight. You put it around your neck. You tie it off in front, and it's through evaporative cooling, but the neck absorbs the coolness and helps, sends it up to your head and your other blood vessel. Basically, it helps keep your body cool. So I expect to see a huge increase in neck gaiter sales. In all seriousness, no matter where you live, it might be something you want to consider getting. Very serious here. Very handy item. Because it's only going to keep getting hotter. So, well, there it is. We'll talk soon.